How to ace an interview. So you just landed an interview. First of all, congratulations. But you must know that getting an interview call is just the first step. So, now what? In order to secure the bag, you will need to ace that interview. Today, we share with you the best tips on how to ace an interview and land a job. But before we start, be sure to click the subscribe button so you never miss out. Number 1. Research on the company. The very first step to take as you prepare for the interview is to research the company. Gathering background information on your future employers is essential. During the interview, expect questions like, "What do you know about our company?" and "What led you to apply for a job here?" By finding out as much as possible about a company, you will be in a better position to answer any related question. So, how does one conduct this research? One way to do this would be going through the About Us page on the company's website. You can also head on to their social media pages to see what type of information they're sharing there. Also, if you can't find enough information on your own, don't shy off from requesting more details from your prospective employer. Trust me, the more information you have, the more confident you'll be during the interview, and the better your chances will be of getting the job. Furthermore, the interviewers will also be expecting you to know bits of information about their organization. 2. Use your connections. Get in touch with someone who you know works or has worked for the company. You'll be able to gather first-hand valuable information that will give you an added advantage over other applicants. You can go to LinkedIn to see if you have any connections with people who work there. You can also tap into your university's alumni network to get in touch with the people who work or have worked there. Ask them about the interview process and all the stages they were taken through during the hiring process. And don't forget to find out what they like or don't like about working there. It would also be great to find out information on the role you will be applying for. Ask them who was working in that role before and find out whether they were laid off or if they quit. It's always a good idea to know more pre-hand. This will give you an advantage over the other applicants. 3. Practice. Always practice as much as possible. Never wing it. They say practice makes perfect. Ensure you practice the interviews with a friend or relative and also record the process so you can check on your responses and body language. You can get the commonly asked interview questions online and use them to improve your answering skills. Also, carefully prepare questions to ask the interviewer. The job interview is not only to assess whether you're a good fit for the job or not, but it's also a tool for you to assess whether the job is fit for you. Don't memorize answers. Take breaks before answering to compose your thoughts and show confidence in what you're saying. The more you practice, the more confident you'll be. Through practice, your answers will be more natural and the interview will be a smooth sailing. 4. Research on behavioral interview techniques. This is what most people ignore during interviews. In addition to the basic standard questions, behavior-based questions are becoming more and more common today. This technique is based on the fact that an employee's past experience will determine his future. These interviews involve questions that ask you how you handled certain past situations in your previous workplace. The best way to be prepared for such questions is by making a list of skills, interests, values, strengths, and weaknesses that you possess. For each of them, list a situation where you displayed that particular quality. Spare some time to come up with this list, and also ensure each answer is related to the job you're being interviewed for. During the interview, take your time when answering these questions. Describe the past situation and how you used your skill to handle it. 5. Prepare for different interview types. Find out what type of interview will be conducted. The type of interview will determine your preparation method. The interview could be on a phone or through video conferencing. It could be out of office or held in a group. As for the phone interviews, you will need to practice using the different technologies that will be needed for the process. You will need to check if your devices are okay and have strong internet connection. Identify a quiet area where you won't be interrupted pre-hand. If you live with many people, notify them of the importance of your phone or video call and ensure that they are silent throughout the process. Take some time to do a trial run, so you'll be more than ready when the time for the interview comes. As far as the out-of-office interviews are concerned, these could be held over lunch or dinner. You may need to review polite dining tips beforehand. You can also check the restaurant menu pre-hand so you can identify what you'll order. Also check if the restaurant has a dress code and select your attire appropriately. Sometimes the out-of-office interview may be held over a coffee date. This makes it less formal and more casual. Such interviews are excellent ways of learning more about the potential employer. The informal setup creates more room for openness and clarity. Sometimes the interview will be held in a group, either with a panel or you could be interviewed with other candidates. For such interviews, you will need to practice on your listening skills. You can't keep on asking the interviewers to repeat their questions. You also have to know exactly what they have asked for so you can answer them right. Also, practice on displaying the right body language. Ensure that you are not fidgeting or displaying any signs of nervousness or disinterest. If the type of interview is not mentioned in the interview invite, make sure you ask. 6. Dress for success. Before the interview date, you will need to select at least 2 dress options for the day. You will never have a second chance to make a first impression, so you have no choice but to do it right. Make sure you look professional and your attire matches the environment. For formal interviews, it is suitable for men to wear dark-colored suits and ties, and it's appropriate for women to wear dark pants or skirt suits with a bright-colored blouse. Make sure you're well-groomed and the clothes fit you well. For startups or work environments that are more casual, you can dress less official. The important thing is making sure that the clothes fit you exactly right. They must not be too tight or too loose, and make sure that they are well ironed and decent. If you're not sure of what to wear, call or email the contact person and ask for the organization's dress code. 7. Handling the day of the interview. The most important part of the interview day is to be on time. Make sure you're at least 15 minutes early for the interview. To make sure you're not late, ensure that you check alternative routes to the place and select the shortest with the least traffic. Also, find out the parking situation. If you get there late, trust me, you'll be stressed out, and that alone could ruin the whole interview. During the interview, ensure you observe etiquette. Be polite and gracious to all people from the moment you enter the building, up to the point of leaving. These people could be your future coworkers, so you have to make the best impression possible. On arrival, introduce yourself to the person at the reception and ensure you know the interviewer's full names, as they will ask about it. As much as you may need the job, don't show any signs of desperation. The organization also needs you, so you two are on a level playing field. Avoid words like "I really need this job" and use terms like "I am confident what I will bring to the table will benefit your company." 8. What and what not to bring. Ensure you have 2 copies of your resume, work samples, or your portfolio, and a list of references for your employer. Also, make sure you have a list of questions for the interviewer. Make sure these questions are professional and not personal. Also, have a notepad and a pen to take notes. Never have gum or coffee or snacks during the interview. Ensure your phone is on silent mode and don't use it during the interview. 9. Try to stay calm and avoid stress. If you're nervous, go to the restroom, wash your hands, and give yourself a pep talk. It's normal to be nervous, but you also have to understand the reason that they selected you for the interview is because they saw you have the potential they need. Take deep breaths, listen to motivational talks, and remember you're ready for the interview because you've prepared for it. Get in there and do your best. If it doesn't go well, it won't be the end of the world. When you're asked questions, try to be as calm as possible. Take time to think about your answers. Don't just blabber anything. Ask for clarification when you're not certain about the meaning of the question. During the interview, try to remain as calm as possible. Breathe, and remember you prepared for it, so it will all go well. 10. Follow up. When you're done with the interview, that's not the end of it. Thank the interviewer for the process, and ensure you reiterate your interest for the job. Also, send a thank you note via email to reinforce your interest. This will remind the employer of who you are and create a better chance of being shortlisted for the job. Remember, the interviewer has interviewed so many others, and by doing this, he or she will remember you from the rest. Now that you have done your part, relax and hope for the best. You can tell if the interview went well by reviewing what happened on the day. Sometimes it's obvious that it didn't work out. If the chemistry between you and the hiring manager doesn't exist, then there might be a problem. Sometimes you may realize that the job isn't a fit for you after all. Either way, there's no need to worry, as there will always be other opportunities in the future. Your gut instinct will always tell you what went right or wrong. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. We hope you got a few tips for your next interview. If you want more amazing content, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell icon. We have videos every other day. Have a great day and all the best for your next interview.